So unless that changes, there's no point in getting excited, getting giddy, thinking this can happen. It ain't gonna happen.
This is Danny Gathone for Pro Boxing Fans. We are in Wolverhampton for Azim versus Frank Petitjean. It's a pleasure to be joined by Johnny Nelson. Johnny, I know you push your time, so I really appreciate you giving me some of yours. Yeah, really exciting. Azim making another step up for that European title. Talk me through the fight.
You know, Azim in his 10th professional fight, he's going to go for the European title, break Spencer Oliver's record. He did it in his 11th. So to me, it's a good shout for him. I think this is not a done deal. Adam showed some chinks, some in his armoury in the last couple of fights, chins in the air, but he still got the job done. He had that power to get him out of trouble. At European level, especially if you come up against an established European champion fighter, he's fighting the champion. It's not a vacant belt. At European level, he's got to make sure he's on it. He's tightens the batten down, because if he doesn't, he'll get exposed. He has all the talents, everything there, and we'd expect him to do that because he has the pace as well. But don't expect this to be a done deal.
What are you expecting from Petitjean? Because with European champions, sort of hit and miss. You've got David Anison and your Sergio Garcias, but then we've had plenty of European champions who've come over here who haven't really posed too much of a threat. What side of the fence do you think Frank Petitjean will fall on?
That's what I'm saying. So therefore, but you listen to his preparation. He's been preparing hard. He trained with the national team, the national amateur team, for the first 6 weeks of this. So he went in there for pace. He knows Adam's fast. He knows Adam's sharp. And when he said, Adam, he's not watched Adam. He has. And so he knows what he's got to do. He's prepared hard for this. He has a decent professional pedigree. So therefore, this is, at this stage, as a professional fighter for Adam, it's a tough ask. It's a tough tick. And so even though Petitjean might not be, if he is or isn't the best in Europe in his division, it's still the best challenger or fighter for Adam, because Adam needs to understand he's in deep with someone that's got experience and knows how to play the game.
It's a really good undercard. I would love to run through it all with you, but as I say, we are pressed for time. Richard Riakporhe in there against Dylan Brejon. Now, it's not the fight that's been sort of clamoured for from fans. There's been talk of Arsene Goulamirian was mentioned up there, Jai Opataya. Can you understand frustration? And I'm sure Richard's frustrated himself, though, that it is a Dylan Brejon and it's not a Jai Opataya or a Goulamirian or a world title shot.
I completely understand the frustration. I'm as frustrated probably as Richard is. And unfortunately, on this occasion, business spoils the show. I gather Richard's the WBO, he's the mandatory challenger. I think they're going to mandate it after Chris Billam-Smith has his next fight on the 10th. But still in the mix, there's Lawrence Cole is still in the mix. Chris Billam-Smith, these are not done deals. These are still tough fights that have to be had, but Richard's in a strong position to say, well, no matter what, as long as he gets through Saturday night, he's got to be the next in line.
While I've got you, Johnny, I've got to get your thoughts on the crazy press conference yesterday. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn have been in the game, close to 15 years, never met by all accounts, and a couple of phone calls from Turki Al-Sheikh, and they're smiling like a pair of Cheshire cats up there. Just what do you make of it all?
You know what, it needed a parent to get all these knuckleheads in one room and bang their heads together and say, right, you're killing the game, let's get on with the show. This is show business, and the business is taking over the show. So now you've got all these promoters that are sat, I think there were 12 different promoters in the room that are working together. This is unprecedented. So to me, it's a great shout. A pot of gold's been put there, all the money has been there, so therefore you've got no excuse. So what a great position to be in, and what Saudi Arabia are doing now, they're saying, look, we want you to do this because we want the world to see who we are. We want to see what we can do. So again, I think it will be exciting. I'll be watching one for sure.
Stacked is not the word for the card, so we won't even begin to go through it. Just a quick thought on the Anthony Joshua Otto Wallin fight. 6 weeks notice for a sort of tricky fighter like Wallin, and then you factor in that AJ is not working with Derek James, and it'll be Ben Davison in his corner. What do you make of, first of all, the fight, and second of all, the link up with Ben Davison?
AJ's in there with a southpaw. They say he struggles with southpaw. I don't think he actually does. I think southpaws are awkward for most people. There's only very few fighters actually can handle southpaws easily. I think again he needs to make sure his risk reward and the reward does not outweigh the risk. You know what I mean? So he's got to, unfortunately, getting his act together. No mistakes. No. Well, next time, because Wallin he's got his timing. Wallin, they know him from the amateurs. I think that the amateur version of AJ was probably a little more reckless and gung ho, and that edge, that spike edge, was enough. This version of him is tame, thought through. So he's slow. He's more. You can see what's coming through, but he's experienced. So if he believes he's going to be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, all the experience that he's achieved and pulled through in his professional career should get the job done on the 23rd.
The odds have come out for the fight, and Josh is a favourite, although not a massive one. The odds makers don't see it as a foregone conclusion by any stretch. How live do you think Wallin is in there on the 23rd?
I think he's live. He's like, look, all these guys have had the same amount of time to prepare for the fight. It's not like you've got 2 weeks' notice you're stepping in. Like, all these guys have got the same amount of time to prepare. So at heavyweights, one punch changes everything. So yeah, I think he's live.
Johnny, last one. I think every single time I've interviewed you for the past year, something has come up about Benn Eubank, and no less, last night Dan Raphael of ESPN reported that the fight was close to collapsing, or talks were close to collapsing, due to financial demands on the side of Team Benn. From your outsider perspective, what do you make of all that? Or are you just getting bored of it like the rest of us?
You're talking Benn Eubank again? As far as I'm aware, you know, no matter what noise is made, look, let's use common sense. Now, say this fight goes on without the blessing of the board in regards to Conor Benn. Would Eubank Jr. then compromise his career, because he will be penalised if he boxes Conor Benn until the banner's been had, or whatever it is. He will suffer consequences. So why would he handicap his career for a fight that he doesn't really need? You know, it's a fight that we'd all like, and Eubank's in a great, strong position. It's a big money fight, but in reality, you know, it doesn't matter what noise is being said. You know, at the end of the day, Conor he can't box here in the UK as far as the British Boxing Board of Control are concerned. So unless that changes, there's no point in getting excited, getting giddy, thinking this can happen. It ain't gonna happen. So again, about it collapsing or whatever, he ain't got a lot. Listen, I bet it won't collapse if he had a license. You know, and that's just what it is.
Well, Johnny, very thankful for your time. I will let you get on, and yeah, thanks very much. All the best.
Bless, man.
Really appreciate that.